Welcome to my stories. I'm Voices and Voses. On this channel, we'll explore the power of learning languages through stories. If you're ready, let's jump in. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and let's connect in the comments to make these stories even better.
Jorge Mario Bergoglio was born in Buenos Aires, Argentina. His birthday is December 17th, 1936. His parents came from Italy. His father worked for the train company. His mother stayed at home and took care of the family. Jorge had 2 brothers and 2 sisters. He was the oldest child. Their house was small, but it was full of love. The family did not have much money, but they were happy. Jorge helped his mother in the kitchen. He cleaned the floor and washed the dishes. He said, "My mother is strong and smart." At school, Jorge was quiet. He liked to listen more than talk. He studied hard. He loved science, history, and books. He often went to bookshops and stayed there for hours. He said, "Books are my friends." When he was a teenager, he became very sick. Doctors removed part of his lung. It was a hard time, but he stayed strong. He said, "I will not stop. I will live." Jorge worked in a chemistry lab. He liked science and experiments. He said, "I want to understand how the world works." But he also loved reading stories to his younger brothers and sisters. At night they sat together, and he read to them. After school, Jorge played football with his friends. He was the goalkeeper. He said, "I like to protect the goal. I don't run, but I wait." His friends said, "He's calm and fair." At home, Jorge shared everything. When he got money, he bought bread for his family. He said, "We eat together." Every Sunday, he went to church with his family. He liked the candles, the silence, and the music. He said, "I feel peace here. It is like home." One day, a teacher asked, "What do you want to be, Jorge?" He said, "I want to help people." When he was young, Jorge also fell in love. He liked a girl and thought about getting married. He said later, "If she said yes, I would not be a priest today." His teacher once said, "Jorge is quiet, but he has a big heart." This was true. Even as a boy, he was kind, gentle, and full of love. After school, Jorge needed to work. His family did not have much money. He got a job in a factory. He cleaned floors and helped the workers. He worked hard and never complained. He also worked at a nightclub. He was a doorman. He said, "I watched people. I learned to listen." He studied at night. He wanted to learn more. He studied chemistry. He worked in a laboratory. He liked science and experiments. He said, "I want to understand how the world works." At that time, Jorge did not think about being a priest. He liked books, walking in the city, and bookstores. He said, "I can stay in a bookshop for hours." He also loved a girl. He thought about getting married. He said later, "If she said yes, I would not be a priest today." He became a teacher at a high school. His students liked him. He was kind and calm. He listened to them and helped with their problems, but something was missing. He felt a quiet voice inside. He asked, "Is this my path?" He wanted to help people in a deeper way. One day, he walked into a church. He sat alone and closed his eyes. He felt peace in his heart. He said, "Maybe this is my way." He spoke with a priest. The priest said, "You care about others. Maybe God is calling you. Jorge made a big decision. He left his job and entered the seminary. He was 21 years old. At the seminary, life was simple. He studied philosophy and theology. He read the Bible. He prayed, cleaned, and cooked every day. Jorge was serious, but kind. Other students said, "He is quiet, but he works hard." He missed his family. He wrote letters to his mother. She wrote back with love and care. In one letter, she said, "Walk with God, but stay close to people." Jorge read her words again and again. Jorge became a priest in 1969. He was 32 years old. People now called him Father Jorge. He lived in Buenos Aires. He did not have a car. He walked or took the bus every day. Even as a bishop, he still used the bus. He said, "The bus is good. I meet people there." He lived in a small room behind the church. People asked, "Why don't you live in the big house?" He said, "I don't need a palace." He washed his own clothes. He cooked his own food. He said, "I do not need a servant. I can do this myself." His shoes were old. He wore them every day. When they broke, he did not buy new ones. He sent them to be fixed. Father Jorge walked in poor neighborhoods. He visited people in small homes. He brought food and listened to their stories. He said, "God lives in the streets." He also visited sick and old people. Many of them were alone. He sat with them, smiled, and prayed. He said, "God is with the forgotten." People in Buenos Aires saw him every day. They called him the priest of the streets. He also worked in schools. He taught young men who wanted to be priests. He said, "Be kind, be simple, never forget the poor." He read books and wrote letters at night. He did not rest much. He said, "There is always someone to help." Even when he became a bishop, he did not change. He lived simply and walked with the people. He said, "A priest must smell like his people." In March 2013, many bishops met in Rome. They needed to choose a new pope. The old pope, Benedict XVI, had resigned. He was tired and sick. Jorge Mario Bergoglio went to Rome too. He was quiet and simple. He did not think he would become pope. He prayed and waited. After 2 days of voting, something big happened. On March 13, 2013, the bishops chose him. Jorge became the new pope. A car waited for him outside. It was big and black, but he said, "No." He took the bus with the other cardinals. He said, "We started together. We go back together." He walked out onto the balcony. Thousands of people waited in the square. He smiled and looked at them. He said, "Please pray for me." The crowd was quiet. Then people clapped, cheered, and cried. He chose the name Francis. He said, "Saint Francis loved the poor. I want to be like him." He did not wear the red shoes. He kept his old black ones. He said, "I don't need fancy things." He also said, "God does not need a Mercedes." He chose a small car. Sometimes he even rode in a Fiat. He did not move into the big papal apartment. He chose a small room in a guest house. The house was called Casa Santa Marta. People around the world were surprised. He was the Pope, but he lived like a simple priest. He said, "I want a poor church for the poor." Pope Francis visited many countries. He went to Asia, Africa, Europe, and America. In each country, people waited for him. They clapped, smiled, and listened. He talked to poor people and rich people. He talked to young people and old people. He said, "You are important. God loves you." He visited sick people. He sat with them and held their hands. One day he saw a sick child. Guards said, "Stop." But he walked to the child and gave him a hug. He said, "Love is stronger than fear." He also went to refugee camps. A refugee is a person without a home. He met families and listened to them. He said, "Open your arms. Don't close your hearts." He cared about the earth. He wrote a special letter. The name was Laudato Si. He said, "The earth is our home. We must protect it." He loved children. Many children wrote him letters. One day, he called a little girl on the phone. He said, "Hello, this is Pope Francis." The girl was so happy. She cried. During one speech, a little boy came on stage. The boy sat near the Pope. Pope Francis smiled and kept talking. He touched the boy's head kindly. One reporter asked him a question. It was about a group of people. He said, "Who am I to judge?" People around the world liked his answer. On his birthday, he did not want a party. He ate breakfast with homeless people. He said, "This is the best gift." Many people said, "He is not just a pope. He is a kind man with a big heart." In 2025, Pope Francis was 88 years old. He lived in a small room in the Vatican. He woke up early and prayed every morning. He did not travel anymore, but he still met people. He said, "Even when I am weak, I can give love." He loved to see children and sick people. He smiled, listened, and gave them peace. He was tired, but his heart was still full of love. On April 21st, 2025, it was Easter Monday. That morning, he was quiet. He sat in his chair with his wooden cross. He closed his eyes and prayed. Then his heart stopped. He died in peace at 7:35 in the morning. The news spread around the world. People cried in many countries. In Argentina, people left flowers and candles in the street. They said, "Gracias, Papa Francisco." In Rome, many people went to St. Peter's Square. Children held signs. "We love you." Some people were silent. Some sang. Some prayed. The Vatican said, "His funeral will be on April 26th. But Pope Francis had a wish. He said, "I don't want gold. I want a simple grave." He chose a small church, Santa Maria Maggiore. He prayed there many years ago, as a young priest. He said, "This place feels like home." At the funeral, there was no gold, no crown. There was only a white cloth and a small cross. They remembered his words. Be kind, help others, live simply.